everybody. I'm Linda. Pinky Mouse Sisters in the kitchen. Mary made a banana split cake this morning, and I am putting on a couple of batches of Crock Pot Candy. I'm sure that everybody has probably made Crock Pot Candy at some time or another, but I'm going to give it just a second here. I didn't create an event. I had to run over to town, and I wasn't sure how long I'd be gone or what time I would leave, but I got over there and got back real quick. So this is my version of Crock Pot Candy. I'm actually making one a little different than the other. Now, most of the Crock Pot Candy recipes, it's going to ask you to use peanuts. I'm not using peanuts, I'm using pecans. So I lightly toasted my pecans. I toasted them for 30 seconds at a time, 3 times. So a minute and a half, toast 2 cups of pecans. Take them out, stir them, put them back in there, do it 3 times. Don't put them on for a minute and a half because they could burn. So y'all know how we told you the other day not to just dump something in what you're cooking. I've taken them out and measured them, and I'm putting, you want to put your nuts in first, and I'm putting 2 cups. I may have a little over 2 cups here. I'm making 2 batches, so I've got them divided out. So probably wind up with a little over 2 cups. And that's okay. I'm always generous with my nuts. So a little over 2 cups of pecans. I'll probably just put, whoops, I'm throwing stuff. Put the rest of these in here. But y'all know how I told y'all not to, I just said that, not to see the little pieces in there. There's little tiny pieces. I don't want that in my candy. So I'm going to pick out these biggest pieces, and I'm going to discard the rest of this because I don't want it in my candy. Okay, so that's 2 cups of pecans. I have got, this has 3 different kinds of chocolate in it. And I've got about 31 ounces of white almond bark. I just roughly chopped it. You don't want to put it in the whole squares. Just going to take it a little bit longer to start melting. So I'm going to add this in here, and then I'll show y'all how I do this. I just, you know, they come apart real easy in these little squares. And then I just cut each square in half. Be careful with your knife. Now, some recipes will call for different amounts, and I know they'll tell you, you know, not to substitute, not to do this or do that, but this is what I'm doing. This is how I make mine. So I'm going to put the rest of that in there. Then I've got 4 ounces of chocolate, and this is baker's chocolate, the kind of chocolate that you make. I think I threw my wrapper away. The kind of chocolate that you make German chocolate cake with. You can actually use that, Baker's, or you can use Ghirardelli, but this is kind of between semi-sweet and dark. And y'all know I'm not a huge fan of dark chocolate, but this white almond bark is going to balance that out. So I'm just going to just roughly chop this too. This has been in the freezer, so it's a little harder to chop. Okay. And you're just basically just dumping this in here because the crock pot's going to do all the work besides chopping. And then 12-ounce package semi-sweet. These are chunks. You can use semi-sweet chocolate chips, but this particular package that I'm using, I use this in my chocolate chunk cookies, and it's about, this package is actually 11.5 ounces, but 11 or 12 ounces, whatever the package is that you have. You know, see, these are little squares. So I'm going to dump all of these in there. And what I'm doing different with this one than I am the other one is I got a sweet package from my friend in California this morning. Thank you, Kathy, if you're watching. She's always sending me goodies, and I just love this. Mike and I both have already tried them. They're organic coconut chips. They are so good to just eat by itself. But I am putting a cup I'll leave coconut chips in here. A good cup. Probably a little over a cup. My cup's not quite full on that end, so I'm going to get up a little bit closer. This is almost like chewing fresh coconut. It's so, so good. I love coconut. Okay, I'm going to pour that in there. So, you want to, I'll put the other one together in a minute, but you want to turn your slow cooker on low. And this is our new Pepper Chef. It's not available right now, but this is our new slow cooker bottom. And I've got it on low, but I don't want it on 8 hours. So I'm going to turn it back down to 2 hours. Whoops. Let me cancel this. Well, I just did this the other day, and it worked real good, and now it seems like I'm having trouble getting it on 2 hours. But give me just a second, I'll get this figured out. Oh, I know what it is. You gotta press it to get the time. Okay, time. Well, I'll figure this out in a minute. I've already done this one time and didn't have any problem at all doing it. Now it seems like I can't remember how I did it. Y'all bear with me a second. I'll get it right in a minute. There we go. You have to press it and hold it down. Okay. So I've got it set on 2 hours. Put the lid on it. Maybe it won't take me so long to do this other one I'm going to do. But put the lid on it and then just let it cook. And if your slow cooker or crock pot cooks higher, you probably want to set it on 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours to 2 hours is what this is supposed to cook. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be on here that long. So when it comes out, I'll take it out and either show y'all or come back on. And y'all please, until I can get off of here and get the people on there that shouldn't be on, get the people off that shouldn't be off, please do not do anything with those people that's asking for something or something. I'll get it taken care of, but it's going to take me a few minutes after I get out. So I got this started, and I'm going to see, you can tell it's already counted down a minute. So just set it and forget it. Now I'm going to do this other one, and on it I'm not going to put coconut in it. I'm going to do it without coconut. So we'll measure our pecans out. It's such a pretty day. It was really cold here this morning. And when I went over to town, I put on a sweater, but this long sleeve top I got on is pretty warm, so I wouldn't have froze if I hadn't had it on, but it did feel good. So I know a lot of our viewers are getting some really cold weather where you're at. So stay warm and stay safe, and if there's some of you that's still in the storm's path, certainly stay safe for that too, and watch for the alerts. Kind of lid on there good. So here's my pecans. That's ready for the next one. And on this one, Now there's no flavoring or anything in this one. This one, I'm using the little tiny chips here. They're like the little mini chips, and it was just a bag that I had open. So I measured them out and weighed them on my scale. So this is 12 ounces, and that took the place of the bag. And I have some more of these, but I thought this is already open. Go ahead and use that. And then this chocolate is the same thing. It's just a different brand. And it's about 4 ounces of that chocolate. And again, about the same amount of white chocolate for this next one. And I'll get this one on in a minute, or in a couple of minutes when I get the stuff all done. So in about 2 hours, when this gets ready, and the 2 hours is up, you'll take your spoon and just stir it real good, and it's going to be really thick. So you can fix you a piece of aluminum foil, just lightly butter it, not much at all. Please don't spray it with those artificial sprays. That stuff is just, it takes away from the taste. It has an aftertaste to it. Lightly butter your foil, freezer paper, or parchment paper, whatever you're using. If you use your counter, you know, if you got granite counters and you use that, you can do that. I'm old school, so I don't have granite counters. But I just lightly butter it and then use a cookie scoop. I use a medium cookie scoop to dip it out, and that's 2 tablespoons. Now, if you don't want it that big, I wrapped these this morning. And if you don't want your candy that big, well then use the 1 tablespoon. But I individually wrap these. We like to wrap our candy just to keep it fresh. And like if somebody reaches to get one, you know, they're getting one that's wrapped. And we've done this for, oh my goodness, for decades. Mike has always individually wrapped every piece of fudge, divinity, every kind of candy that we've ever made. He's always individually wrapped it. So that's what a 2 tablespoon looks like. And again, if you want a bigger one or a smaller one, just use a bigger or a smaller scoop. So I want to show y'all something else here before I finish getting this next batch on. And and again, it's going to be just like that one, except that I forgot to get my crock pot Dutch oven out from under the cabinet. So I'm not going to do like I did the other day when Mary was here and reach down and get it in front of the camera. So I'm just going to set this aside and show y'all what I wanted to show y'all. And I'll get this in the crock pot or slow cooker or whatever you want to call it. I'll get that in there in just a few minutes. But I don't know if y'all had sweater clips when you were kids, teenagers. I guess we were probably teenagers when we had them. But we always, you know, we wore sweaters. In our part of the country, we did have coats, and we did wear them on occasion, but coats were not something that we used on a daily basis because it just didn't get that cold here. But we had sweaters, and we had sweater clips. So, and I don't have on a sweater. I had on one earlier when I went over to town. But I wanted to show y'all these, and I might should get up a little closer. So I asked Mary one day, I said, I told her, I said, I want a sweater clip. And this is one here that's got a little chain on it. And the way it works is you clip it on your sweater. I should put on a sweater and demonstrate. Then I have to go in and grab it. And it holds your sweater together. And we wore these when we were teenagers. They were very popular. These are just real generic. I ordered them from Amazon, and I think I got 8 in a package for like $14 and something. And they're all different designs. And I'm not going to take them out of the package because I'm giving a couple of these away. But here's one here that's got a real pretty ornate design on it. And then this is a little dainty one here, and I really like that one. It's got a little Tree of Life disc on it, which I think is really cute. And it's got the little claw things, grass. And I like this one. I think this one is pretty. This one is some kind of a flower. I don't know what kind of flower that is, but it's kind of a flower on it. And then here's a rose. And that one's really pretty. And then this is a small rose with a little chain on it. And again, this one's got the clips on the back, so you just do that. The ones that are like this, you just pull that little thing apart, and then like that, and it snaps on the sweater. Put the sweater in between it, and then you snap it back down, and it closes. So it's just kind of something nostalgic that that I wanted, kind of like the gumdrop tree. And so I ordered a package, and I think the ones that I got were really cute. So this afternoon, I took one package over to, not package, a little goodie bag over to Jefferson this morning to one of my friends. And I've got lots more to do. I'm going to be making Sandy's this afternoon. I'm not going to do it live because it is very time consuming. And so I chose to do the Crock Pot Candy instead of the Sandy's. We do have a video with them on. It's probably a couple of years old. We will try to get the recipe on for the members for the Sandy's in case you don't have it. That recipe is in our cookbook. This Crock Pot Candy is not in there. But again, as soon as little Linda can, we'll get that on the page for our members. And then I still have to do the sour cream coconut cake that I'm going to make, and I'm also going to do a cherry nut cake. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the sour cream coconut cake live one day next week, and I may or may not do the cherry nut cake. It has 7-minute oil frosting on it, but I want to do some little different decorations on it this time to kind of dress it up a little bit, and that takes time. So depending on the time that I have, will determine whether or not I do any of that part of that live. So, and when you're making 7-minute frosting, you have to do it pretty much after you get the cake made, because you're using egg whites from your eggs, unless you're using the egg whites in the carton, and you could do that too. But thank y'all again very much for watching. Thank you for watching Mary this morning, and thank you for watching this. Again, this is something just easy peasy. It's something that you can throw it in your crock pot and go about your business, and come back in 2 hours and stir it and pour it out on a sheet. You could even pour it in a pan, a 9x13 pan, and cut it like fudge if you wanted to. If you didn't want to go to the trouble of dipping it out by spoonfuls. In fact, I'm going to do one of these pans that way. I'm going to pour it out and cut it like fudge. So thanks again. We love y'all, and we will see y'all tomorrow afternoon, late tomorrow afternoon, around 5:30 Central Time, with the Christmas carolers. So have a wonderful day. I know a lot of you are busy getting your last minute things done before Christmas, and many of y'all are baking, and I hope that y'all will be making some of our recipes. Love y'all, and be sure to, in this busy time of year, be sure to count your blessings. Bye.